Hi there, I'm Simon Bennett from OMB Solicitors and welcome back to the OMB Law Board Season 5. For 2026, it's a brand new year at OMB, and thank you so much for all of our subscribers, our listeners and our viewers. The response, quite frankly, has been overwhelming, and we're going to try and give you more of what you want in Season 5. And today I've got with me Sarah from our family law team. Sarah, welcome back.
Thanks, Simon. Excited to be back here.
So Sarah, today I wanted to talk about divorce. It's a topic that we all think we know what it means, but there's quite a number of misconceptions about it.
That's right.
Okay, so if you could stick with us today, we're going to dial into divorce, what it means and what the misconceptions are. So Sarah, let's start. What are the major misconceptions when people hear and think about divorce?
So what often happens is that people come in and say, I'm here to get a divorce. And what they're actually meaning is that they're here to sort out their divorce, their property settlement, and their parenting matters. That's not what a divorce is.
Right. So the divorce itself only relates to the marital status?
That's exactly right. Divorce is literally just the legal end to the marriage. That's it.
Okay, well, there's something new. And timing is really important as well, isn't it?
Yes. So you do have to wait 12 months after you separate to get a divorce.
Okay. And when is the right time? If you were talking to one of your friends and they asked you, when is the right time to get a divorce? Should I be going quickly? Should I be delaying it? When's the right time?
So look, there's a few things to consider and it really depends on the individual person. Obviously, you've got to wait for that 12 months of separation. But if you've got property that you haven't divided yet with your partner, then you need to have a think about timelines, because once you get divorced and it takes effect, you've only got a year to then file court proceedings if you need to. You can after that, but you've got to get the court's permission, essentially. So if you've got property to resolve or property to divide with your partner, you need to have to think about that and whether you want that pressure and whether you don't. Because some people do want that pressure, right? Some people want to put pressure on their ex to get things moving.
Right. So in a circumstance, for example, where I wasn't ready to deal with the property matters, maybe the market wasn't right, it wasn't a good time to sell my home, the business wasn't performing to the level that we had hoped, and we may want to delay that process.
That's right. That's right.
I'd be delaying my divorce?
That's right. You want to delay the divorce to prevent that timeline starting.
Right. Because if we proceed with the divorce, then all of a sudden I'm under that time pressure that those things have to happen.
That's right. That's right. I mean, they don't have to, in that you can still get the court's permission, but that's not guaranteed. So you don't want to take that risk. You want to have that comfort of being like, I've got time.
Okay. And so when on the flip side, when would be, a time that you might be recommending to someone or a client, hey, we should move forward on this. We should push quickly to get not a quickie divorce, but a faster version.
I mean, there's two points. One, a little bit controversial, but if that person's met someone new and they are wanting to get into a new marriage, then you need to get divorced before you can enter into a new marriage. And the second one, as I briefly touched on before, is if you do want to put a little bit of pressure on your partner to get things moving, if they are simply not engaging in the process and you want to put a little bit of pressure on them, you might want to start that divorce process to get them engaged in your property division.
Okay, well, that's a interesting segue. How about you tell us a little more about the process when we've decided the time is right, either on a delay or a fast track? What's the process?
So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can do a sole application for just you, or you can do it with your partner. If you are agreed and you're both ready to get a divorce, it's quicker, it's easier, always would recommend that, it's cheaper. But if they're not in agreement, then, or you don't want to talk to them about it, then you do your sole application, you file it, you have to serve it on them, which is literally handing them the documents or posting them. And then you've got to fill out some documents relating to that, saying just, yes, I have actually given them the documents. The court will set a date for the hearing, and then you have the hearing. You don't generally need to attend. And then once the court makes the order, you've got a month and a day, and then it takes effect. But there's a couple of things to take into consideration. Like, it's very common now, because everything's getting so expensive, for people to continue living under the same roof, right? So you might stay in the same house as your ex. And if you do that, you've also got to file what we call an affidavit, which is like your story of events to the court, explaining why you've kept living together, what evidence there is that your relationship is in fact at an end, even though you've kept living together. So maybe you had a joint bank account, now you've got all separate bank accounts. Those sorts of things. If you've got kids under 18, you need to touch on that. What's happening with the kids? Who are they living with? Who's paying for what? So you've just got to explain a couple of things to the court in different circumstances.
So there's a couple of interesting points you made there. You said we've got to be separated for 12 months. But I think what you're also saying is that I can be separated whilst we're still living in the same house.
That's right. Because at the end of the day, you can come to the end of your relationship, but need to, because of financial pressures, stay living in the same house, right?
Okay.
It is happening more and more nowadays. It's really common.
So that can be a separation as long as we explain in an affidavit to the court how we've separated. Maybe we're living, as roommates, for want of a better word, but we are separated.
That's exactly right. The court just wants to hear, what can you show us to say that the relationship has ended? Have you got friends that can say you're no longer attending events together, your finances are separate, you're no longer doing household chores for one another, those sorts of things. As long as you can outline that to the court, you're fine.
Okay. Now, we all watch a bit of TV or social media, and we see in the States all the time the spouse getting a private detective and following you around and getting pictures of you, with a significant other or insignificant other, as the case may be. Is that a thing in Australia?
No, I mean, not that I've seen as a family lawyer. Maybe it happens and people don't bring it up to the lawyers, but no.
So we have a no-fault jurisdiction?
That's right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether someone's cheated. Clients do always want to tell us about that, and I get it because it's stressful and it's traumatizing. But at the end of the day, if someone cheats, that's not relevant.
Okay.
If the relationship is at an end and you no longer want to be in the relationship, that's all that needs to be proven.
So as of right, we can, once we've separated for 12 months, we can get this divorce.
That's right. The only thing that you need to say is that the relationship's at an end and there's no reasonable prospect or likelihood that you're going to continue being in this marriage.
Fantastic. So what I've picked up today, and hopefully our listeners and viewers have got from this, is divorce is just the end of the matrimonial relationship. It doesn't deal with property. It doesn't deal with children.
That's right.
And timing, there'll be a time to go quick. There'll be a time to go slow.
That's right. Time and a place depends on the person. Have you got your property settlement finished? Do you want to put pressure on them to finalise it? Are you wanting to get into a new marriage?
It doesn't have to be stressful. It is quite procedural. OMB Family Law Team can help you if you decide now is the right time for you, or we can help you decide when is the right time. Thank you so much for your time today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.